Hi everyone, Shane Monroe here. It's time to dig back into Directory Opus for another tutorial. So there is a tool on the internet that you can download called YTDLP. This is a YouTube downloader. It's a command line utility that allows you to easily download video from just about anywhere. And since it's the command line, you can kind of use it with any app that can call a command line application. That's what we're going to kind of do today. So let's grab it first. This is pretty straightforward. It's a simple exe. I'm going to download this, and you can usually stash these exes like in your Windows folder or your System32 folder because that's already in the path, so you could call it from anywhere. But because I'm on a virtual machine that has things kind of locked down, and you may also be on a machine that you can't save anything to the Windows folder, instead we're going to go to the C drive. We're going to create a new folder, YouTube DLS, and we will save this exe in that folder. Okay, so now we have the exe, and let's see how it works. Let's go to command, go to the command prompt, and cd / cd yt. Okay, so it's yt-dlp.exe. Okay, so you must provide a URL. Okay, so now we know how to kind of use it. Now we can go into Directory Opus and tie it together. So this is a completely plain, just out of the box Directory Opus. So I'm not going to configure anything special. I'm just going to leave everything sort of where it is. All right, so we have, of course, our C, and there's our exe that we looked at. We would like to put a button up here. Now, if you'll notice, there's a spacer between help and slideshow. So if we right click somewhere in here and go to customize, you will see that there's a spacer. Now we want our button to appear on this side of the spacer. So we are going to right click in here and do insert a new button. Okay, well, it didn't go on the right side of the spacer, so we'll have to drag it over there. Sweet. And this new button, let's call it something fun. YouTube download. Something simple. Now, obviously, it's not going to do anything with us not having any commands in there, but let's take this step by step. So let's hit OK. Now, we're still in customize mode, so let's check ourselves out of that. We have a button, and it does absolutely nothing, which is pretty much what we would expect it to be. Back into customize mode. Let us bring the button back to play. And now you could do some stuff while you're here, by the way. Just before we go into the command stuff, you can change the text color. You can do all sorts of fun things. You can make it blue. You could give it a background, yada, yada, yada. See how it's blue now? So you can set it a default image, all sorts of stuff. I'm not going to get too complicated. Just want you to know that it is there. You can even change that icon if you want. All right, so what we need from the user with this button is we need a URL to a YouTube video. So we're going to use a built-in command called dialog string. So we're going to use a curly brace, DLG string, close curly. And the whole point of that is to ask the user for a string or a set of text or characters. So let's hit OK, check ourselves out of customize, and let's hit the button. Look at that, enter a string. Type in whatever you want. Now, because there's no command, it's just going to assume that you're typing a command and it wants to execute it. Well, obviously that's not a real command. So now we need to do something a little different. We need to take whatever it is that we've asked for and pass it to this exe. Once again, we'll enter customize mode, go to our button. Before the dialog string, we'll go ahead and use the full path because it's not in the Windows system path. So let's go C:\/ YT, what was the folder I put this in? YTDLS / YT-DLP.exe, and then pass it the string that you've asked for. So that's how you get something from the user and pass it to something else that you want to do something with. So let's hit OK. Check our customize. Now let's try it out. So I'm going to just send crap, right? Let's see what happens. Ooh, well, this doesn't like the fact that I've got a new exe on my machine. So we're going to do more info. I know it's safe. We're going to run it anyway. All right, so it runs, but it's not going to work now, is it? You see that? It flashed that thing I typed in. It's not going to work. All right, well, let's go get a URL from YouTube. I have a directory Opus video renaming music files. Let's grab this URL, go back to Opus, click it, and enter it. Okay, hit OK. It's trying. Let's see what's going to happen now. Oh, it's grabbing it. It's downloading it. All right. Okay, it says FFmpeg's not found, so you might want to install that on the side. Well, where'd it go? Well, you know it downloaded it, but it had to have gone somewhere. Let's go back to our command line. Let's see what happens here. So if we hit up, right, that'll get us the last command we typed, and then paste in the URL afterwards. Let's see what happens. I mean, we know it does something. Okay, it's doing do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. So it's doing something here. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's going on. So it is getting the file now, but as you're probably suspect, it's downloading something local to wherever it is that we're running the command from, which if we're running it from, what is this, a playlist or something? It's downloading a lot of stuff here. Oh, it's just a big file. Oh, it's fragmenting it. Okay. So, all right, we don't need to see this because we know it's working, but it's not working the way we want from inside the button because it's calling the exe and it doesn't really give it a destination. So we are going to give it a destination. That gets a little more complicated. Before we do that, though, you know what? I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to get a smaller URL, I think. And it left some little bunny turds behind here. Let's get rid of those. All right, let me go find a smaller URL for us to use. How about 5 and 5? That's probably pretty small. That's 5 minutes. Let's see. All right, close enough. That's another 5 minutes. Okay, that's fine. We'll use this one later. All right. So what we need to do now is, let's add a little bit of frill before we add the final piece to the equation. So when you go in here, it says enter string. Well, that's not very user-friendly, is it? So let's go back into customize and go to our button. Now, the dialog string does allow you to prompt. So we're going to do a pipe at the end of that. Not a pipe in and enter. Pipe, and then enter the string that you want to display, asking them for a string. Enter the video's URL. Colon. All right. Let's see how that looks. Customize, check. Well, hey now, that looks a lot better. Cool, right? Now that would be something we'd want to do. Now, we still know that it's kind of busted here, right? Because we're going to do this and it's going to download, but it's going to put it somewhere where we don't know where it is. So I've got a shortcut here. I'm going to just bring this up. What we want to do is we want to add a command line parameter after the dialog string. So I'm going to grab this. We'll talk about it when we get there. Let me copy that. Go back to customize. Go back to your button. And then after your dialog string, we're going to pass it in. I got an extra space in there. All right. So essentially what we're doing is saying the output of it needs to go to ytdls / and then these are basically, I don't want to get too deep in it, but basically it is replacements for the actual title and the extension of the video. If you don't put this in here and you just put a path, weird stuff could come down, right? So we're going to basically just say, give me the title and give me the extension and put it into C : yada, yada, yada. So we're just specifying an output. Every command line tool that you use is going to be a little bit different, but this is the structure and how you get it to work. So we're going to hit OK, check ourselves out of customize. Now we're ready to go. Let's try it out. Now enter the video's URL. Looks so good. Oops, except for I just lost my clipboard. Back here. Grab our URL. What did I just do right there? What is that? The whole thing, pal. All right, now we're ready. Let's do it. Okay, there's our pop-up. And we should see something working in the background. And it is. Okay. FFmpeg not found, of course. Remember, for this tool, we're probably going to have to install FF. Hey, look up here. Hey, it's putting it right where it's supposed to. Now, it's still downloading in parts. It's still running a little bit slow. This is a virtual machine. But yeah, so let's sort of summarize what we did here. We asked for a dialog box to come up and get a string. We're taking that string and we're feeding it to an exe in a location that we specified. Finally, we're adding an output command to the backside of that to say, okay, do the work, but then here's where it goes. All right, so we got the video. Perfect. Okay, well, that's kind of it. So we've made a new button. Let's go back in here real quick. Take one last look. We made a button, we named it, we changed its color. We started off with just a simple dialog string to get input from the user. We passed that to an exe, found out that it wasn't saving it to the right spot, so we created an output variable that said, hey, put it out here. And we did it all within the comfort of Directory Opus. So now you've essentially turned Opus into a YouTube downloader, and you've got the button to prove it. So I think that's going to wrap it up. This has been about long enough for one of these sort of tutorials. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and check the description down below. We will have a coupon code for you to get Directory Opus at a great discount. Compliments of Monroe World and the great folks over at Directory Opus. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Shane R. Monroe. We'll see you next time.